There we go again. Okay, so we're now recording. As I said, we're going to look at what you had to do last week. We will look at what you need to do this week. This week, hopefully all of your presentations will be finished by the end of this week. And there's a couple more things you need to just have a quick look at, okay? In terms of Edpuzzles, just to help you with your final presentation. As always, if you have a question, type it in the chat bar. I'll answer it when I've finished. I'm going to share my screen now. And also at the end of today's lesson, there's a quick survey that I need to tell you about that the university has asked all students to do. All right, so I'll share my screen. Okay, that's the survey. That's not what we're going to do now, though. Hang on. So we'll start by looking at last week, okay? And last week, I gave you 3 videos to watch, okay? So in terms of time, last week was probably one of the biggest weeks in terms of workload. This week it won't be so bad. This week basically you just need to do your presentation. But the reason why I gave you so much work last week was because I wanted to prepare you. I wanted to help you with your presentation, and it was important that you understood how to find a good template and that you understood the ideas of how to give a visually good presentation. So that was Steve Jobs and the other 2 Edpuzzles. All right, the recording from last week's WebEx session was here again. After today's WebEx session, I will put the recording on this week's information page. All right, so I asked you to first watch an Edpuzzle, which looked at how to find and how to choose a good template. All right, pardon me. So that was this one, and it looks like nearly everybody has done it, which is great. And then how to create your own background. So as I said, if you can't find a free one, if you can't find anything that really suits what you want, then you can make your own. Okay, so that was the instructions for how to do that. And the last one, how to present like Steve Jobs. Okay, and I think everybody has done those, which is excellent. Okay, then for your actual project, you were in the preparation stage. So remember, there's the planning, the preparation, and then the practice. And you, last week, you needed to take all of the information that you had done in the planning stage and make slides. So that was the goal last week, to finish your PowerPoint. And you needed to use the ideas from the Edpuzzles in making your PowerPoint, and also the ideas from the textbook. Okay, so the visual message activities that you've been doing for the last 3 weeks. So you should have at least 5 slides now. Okay, hopefully you have now finished the preparation part of your presentation, and now you need to do the practice. So let's have a look at what you have to do this week. Here we go. This week, you're going to look at a bad presentation, then you're going to look at a good presentation. Okay, now these are presentations that I have given. Okay, so I have created a visually bad presentation and then I've created a visually good presentation. The content of the presentation is the same. And the idea is for you to watch the bad one, identify what the problems are, and then watch the good one. And we reinforce the things that you should do to make and give a good presentation. Then you need to do the practice part of your project, and you need to record it on Flipgrid. So let's have a look at all of that. Okay, again, as I said, the recording from today's session will go here. There are 2 ed puzzles. You should do this ed puzzle first, the bad presentation, okay? So if you click on this, it will bring you here. All right, and again, all you have to do, play it, answer the questions. The aim of this is simply to identify the visual aspects of a presentation, okay? So things that you should not do, okay? And by understanding the things that you should not do, then also the things that you should do when you make a presentation. And then once you've done that, go back and then watch the good presentation. Okay, now I've split them into 2 simply to get you to think about what not to do first and then as a follow-up. Okay, I didn't put them together as one just to give you a break. Both videos are around about 4 minutes. Okay, but hopefully by looking at both of them, you will understand the difference in terms of the visual message. As I said, it was me narrating, so sorry you have to listen to my voice. And just at the end of the good presentation, I re-summarize all of the main ideas of how to put together a visually good presentation. So do these before you start doing your practice. You may want to go back and change a few things on your PowerPoint. Okay, after watching this, you might see something and that you think, oh, I did that, I need to change it. Or, oh, that's a good idea, I should do that for my presentation. All right. All right, so once you have completed both of the ed puzzles, then time to pull out your PowerPoint and start practicing. Okay, so as I said, make any adjustments that you want to your PowerPoint presentation. Make the adjustments first so that visually everything is ready to go. You should have a title slide. You should have your 3 main slides. One slide should be looking at a different comparison between the 2 countries. And then you should have your 3 questions. You can have more slides if you want to, but remember you only have, it says 2 to 3 minutes, okay, for your presentation. I don't think it will take even 2 minutes, to be honest. Now, practice. As when you watch the ed puzzle about the good and the bad presentation, the information in that good and bad presentation is actually about how to give a presentation. And one thing that I've said in there is that you should write out your presentation, okay? You write it out, so for each point, you write out a paragraph. So for the introduction, write out a paragraph. For each main point, so each slide, you should write a paragraph, okay, that explains the topic. It explains the slide. Okay, remember IEE. Introduce, explain, and then emphasize your main point. Okay, do that for each slide. So you write everything that you want to say out onto a piece of paper. But we don't want you reading from a piece of paper because you'll sound like a robot. Okay, it sounds bad. It's also a bad habit to get into because if you give a presentation in front of an audience and you are reading from a piece of paper, it's really boring for the audience, and also there is no eye contact, bad body language, no gestures. So you can improve your presentation 200% simply by memorizing what it is you have to say. But the first step in memorizing is writing what you're going to say down. Okay, so that's what you need to do first. Write it out. Then you practice saying it until you can say it without reading. Okay, it's okay to have some hints, so have prompts, we call them. So you have a little card with a few key words about what each main point is about. When you are doing a presentation in front of an audience, that is what you should have. You should have a few notes that you can fit into your hand. They're called palm cards because they're the size of your palm. But for this presentation, you are lucky. You are recording your voice onto a computer screen, so you can actually have the notes sitting in front of you and you can read them. But what I would suggest is that you practice doing your presentation 2 or 3 times before you record it. That way you won't need to read your notes. That'll add emphasis to your voice. It'll make your presentation go more smoothly, okay? And so it will be a more effective presentation. So practice. Then record your presentation using the screen share function on Flipgrid. Okay, so here we go. Write it out. Write out everything you're going to say. Try to write 1 paragraph for each slide. Remember, use IEE. Okay. Practice. Use the notes. Practice your presentation. If there are any words which are difficult to pronounce, look them up. Okay. There's a link here to a thing called dictionary.com. Okay. So if I open that and we have a look at it, you can put any difficult words, okay? Right, any difficult words, whatever the word is, you can type the word in here. You'll find it here. You'll see the definition. The pronunciation is written out here. It's also written in phonetic spelling, and you can listen to it.
Maritime.
It's a really good American accent, okay? If you want an Australian accent, find an Australian dictionary. If you want an English accent, find an English dictionary, probably Cambridge. Okay, so practice the pronunciation of any difficult words. Try to say them a few times so that you can say them fairly fluently. All right? Okay, now the other thing is, when you do your practice for your actual presentation, don't just read it. Make sure that you are doing it while you move from one slide to the next slide. So practice using your computer with your presentation, and that will help you if there's any problems with the animation or loading, or if as you go through you might find that there's something not quite right with your presentation. There's a better way to do it. Okay, so practicing with your PowerPoint will make your presentation better. Okay, as I said here, you can make sure that the slides work the way you want them to work. And then record your presentation. There is a link to a Flipgrid topic, okay? It's this one. This is straight out of the textbook. It summarizes what the actual project is, but I've got it here as well. Okay, this is how you will be evaluated: your voice, the content, how much effort you appear to have put in, how you have used your visuals. This is the one I want you to really practice. Okay, really make sure that you get the visuals right. And then overall impression of the presentation. That's how you'll be evaluated. Alrighty? So when you are ready, use the screen share. And just a quick reminder, with screen share, make sure you're using the Chrome browser, okay? Don't use Internet Explorer. Don't use anything else. Use Chrome. Chrome works. The others have problems. Okay, the other thing is when you are doing your screen share, okay, with the Flipgrid function, the screen share function, sometimes it will cut you off a little bit short. You might get to the end of your presentation and when you replay it, you'll find that it's cut the last few seconds off. So what I suggest you do is you keep presenting past the final slide. Okay, keep talking for a little bit longer and then go back, because you can edit your presentation. So make your presentation longer than the actual presentation, and then go back and reduce the end of the presentation. Okay, you can cut the end of the presentation off so that you can make sure that you get everything into your presentation. Okay, so that's it. Okay, as far as the presentation goes, as I said, this is how you will be evaluated. There is more explanation in Schoology on how you will be evaluated. If you want to have another look at an example, I've left the link to the example here. And all important, the deadline for doing this, Wednesday, 9 o'clock, okay? So you need to have finished your Flipgrid upload by 9 o'clock next Wednesday. Next week, you will watch each other's presentations and you'll give feedback. Okay, so that's it for this week, okay? Just a quick reminder. And we'll have a look at the special announcement. Do the 2 Ed puzzles before you do your presentation topic. Okay, write down everything you want to say, practice it, upload it to Flipgrid. Okay, now the last thing the university has asked me to do is just quickly explain about the surveys. You may have already been asked in other courses to do this, but here's a quick explanation. There is a link if you're using your computer, and there is a QR code if you want to use your smartphone. What is the survey about? Well, okay, you get the English version today, okay? You've probably had the Japanese version before, so here's the English version. It's a course reflection. Now, what that means is what we want to make classes better. And one way of doing that is to get feedback from the people who actually take the course. That's you, the students. So if you see something that you think could be done better, make the comment. Okay. If you see something that is actually good and you enjoy doing, make that comment as well. Because what we're looking for, all of that feedback will come back to me. And it's anonymous, which means your names aren't attached to it. So you can be honest, okay? And there'll be no blame attached, but I wouldn't blame you anyway. What I'm looking for is useful advice. What things worked? What did you enjoy doing? What was explained well? Okay? And also, what didn't work? Is there any problems that you had? Are there any suggestions that you have that could make this course better in Q2 for you, or next year for students who are taking this course again next year? Of course, this is the first time that this course has been done 100% online, so not everything is going to be perfect, so I understand if there's a few comments. All right, the period in which to do it, anytime up until the 9th of July. All right, but just get it done today if you can, get it out of the way. This is the address, okay, but I remember I put that link into Schoology. Just click on it, it'll take you straight there on your computer, or use the QR code if you're using your smartphone. If you're using the computer, you need to log in. Then you will come down to this page, click on questionnaire, click on answer screen, and then just answer the questions. If you're using your smartphone, okay, you'll come into here on Campus Square, click here to go to the PCs page, right? Click here for questionnaire, and then click here to answer. Okay, and that's it. So as I said, please do that, get it out of the way, get it done today so you can forget about it. Or if you want to wait until you've done your presentation, you can do that as well, okay? So the links are here. Okay, so that's it for this week, all right? Please do those 3 things, also do the survey. If you have any problems, as always, send me a text, especially if you're having problems with Flipgrid. Let me know, okay? I think everybody can use Flipgrid now. You guys have been quite active with it, but doing the screen share might be something a little, which creates a few problems for you. All right, so just have a play around with the screen share. It's probably a good idea to do a practice with the screen share before you do your presentation. And that way, if there are any problems with it, you can find out what they are before you do the real thing. The other thing is, remember, you can always redo it, okay? So if you don't like your first presentation, just do it again. Also, you have 10 minutes. I think I've given 10 minutes to do the whole presentation. You only need 2 or 3. So you can actually do your presentation a few times and then just cut the bits that you like and edit them together. All right, I'll stop sharing my screen now. I'll try and stop. There we go. Okay, are there any questions? Okay, it looks like we've got nearly everybody in the class now. For those people who came in late, if you want to, you can watch the recording. It'll be up in about an hour. Otherwise, if there are no questions, then I wish you all good luck. Okay, I'm looking forward to watching your presentations. And yeah, that's it for this week. Okay, I'll see you again next week. Next week will be fun, because next week we get to watch your presentations, you will watch each other's presentations, and give feedback. All right, I'll stop recording now.